Well, even if we wait until the round of 4, then
We've got our first finished game, which means that Marcel P and Backstab have the honor or notoriety of being the first match that we'll watch in the top 8.
Yeah.
So we got our match preview up. Let's start getting these cards. And you know what? The dream of bowling continues. I have a shirt.
We're gonna have a winner. That's a bowler.
I have a shirt that I didn't wear that just says "Eat, Sleep, Bowl, Repeat." If I ever go to a tournament playing a bowler deck, that's it, buddy. Eat, sleep, bowl, repeat.
Is that a Supercell shirt or is that?
No,
like
it's
an actual bowling shirt.
I got my backpack stolen in Reno, Nevada, and I had to go to a gift shop to buy a shirt because I had no clothes, and there was a bowling convention in town. So "Eat, Sleep, Bowl, Repeat" is one of my favorite laundry day shirts now. All right, Marcel, what do we got over here? You know what? We haven't seen a ton of giant poison, really. It hasn't been overrunning as much as possible, but now we have a giant mirror match between Marcel and Backstab. Backstab going for more of the Sparky sort of archetype with the bowler to back up the giant and, of course, the miner to help screw with other people's backline troops. Yeah. Marcel, though, the most standard of standard lists running Ice Spirit in the flex spot instead of Prince or Ice Wizard or Princess or whatever. So that flex spot, Marcel's opting for a faster cycle, ideally trying to get out 2 collectors at a time instead of just 1. What do you think?
I think that the mini P.E.K.K.A. has its tasks split amongst a lot of targets. You want a mini P.E.K.K.A. the miner, you want a mini P.E.K.K.A. the bowler, you want a mini P.E.K.K.A. the giant. And I think that might hurt Marcel P.
Okay.
Just because there's so many targets that are tasked on the mini P.E.K.K.A. Like, really, if you put guards in front of there, he has Princess, Zap, and Bowler.
Actually, good point. What's going to kill that Bowler?
Yeah.
Everything that he has gets knocked back by Bowler. The only thing that's a big unit that doesn't get knocked back by Bowler is Giant, and Giant doesn't attack the Bowler.
Yeah. And then Backstab has his own Giant, right? So it's just like, I'll have to see. I mean, it all comes out. I think it's on Backstab to play the positioning and the order of the cards correctly, and it's going to be up to what's his face to really Patriots. Is it Patriots? Yeah.
All right. No, it's not Patriots. I'm sorry. It's I'm sorry. God, you don't have it up yet. The reason I wanted to look at the poll. So before we get into this, we did the vote of the top 8, and here is the split of everyone. So here we go. Get your last chance to vote in because we're closing the poll right now. It's closed. Okay. Poll's closed. Here is the final votes, and I wish we could show it. I'm sure we can a little bit.
Does it publish to the chat?
Oh, does it publish?
I don't know.
No, it doesn't. It's not like the other one. So here, let's just try to pull it in a little bit.
Invalid vote.
Invalid vote is actually as many votes as Syzygy. All right. So we have C. McHugh is the favorite from the crowd. Trainer Chris and Patriots are tied. Marcel is also Marcel and Star Wars are got dark horses, and of course Syzygy with the small bit of favorites. You know what's crazy is I don't think there's only 7 votes here. So who did not get voted for? Vizard. Vizard has no believers in chat. Those guys are jerks. Okay. Here we go. Let's get into this game. So real quick looky-loo one more time. I'm going for the bowler deck.
Yeah.
I like bowlers.
I'm going for the bowler deck too, just because I think... Well, we'll have to see. I don't know how effective poison will be. We'll see.
It'll be effective in the sense that there's an elixir collector at least.
Yeah.
And ideally, and there's Princess as well. So there are opportunities to get good poisons that aren't huge elixir disadvantage trades.
There's a giant.
Now play that Princess behind the elixir collector and get poisoned.
Wait, weren't you voting for the bowler deck?
Yeah, but you know, I like poisons too. Look, you can poison him right there.
Oh, you gave it up,
jerk.
All right, here come them guards.
Oh, I like the Ice Spirit there. It's like the guards got zapped and then the enemy guards got Ice Spirited. Ice Spirit has definitely started to show up a lot more in tournaments as a alternative to Zap, secondary Zap. I'm not exactly sure.
Put you back.
But that 2-second freeze.
Oh, no. Oh! Well, I mean,
I'll take one swing every single time.
It's early in the game, and getting the bowler out isn't necessarily easy, but now you have a bowler and a collector out and a giant in front of it,
this is
so
an 11
we'll
elixir push that's not quite easy to get rid of.
And you would just play collector?
I'm not sure what the point... That seems like a really awful defense by Marcel. I'm not really sure.
He barely has cards. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, why not any other card? You know what I mean?
And it's gonna... Oh, my God. You're getting
Actually,
dunked.
you know what?
You're getting dunked.
He didn't have it. He actually had giant... poison. Like, he actually didn't have a lot of good things. He was really, truly caught with his pants down right there.
Yeah.
So Backstab gets the first bowler on the board as part of a critical push to knock down a tower, and you can see how difficult that push is to defend. Marcel had poison in his hand, opted to not play it because what's a poison even going to do? The thing has more than twice the hit points of what a poison even does.
Well, that's interesting. A bowler unmitigated. How much health does a King Tower have? Like 4,000 even? Or like
about
a little bit
4,000,
more?
yeah.
So it did about like 1,600 damage just on its
It's
own.
a pretty significant amount of DPS. It's just, it's slow, right? The DPS is actually more than, say, something like a baby dragon. So if you leave it alone for a long period of time, it will knock a
You
tower
eventually
down.
do, yeah. All right, here comes the problem that we were talking about. Your mini P.E.K.K.A. has so many jobs on board right now. Nice. And I like that positioning of the princess away from poison, but splashing on all the targets like guards and...
I think that Ice Spirit actually went bad for Marcel. It was supposed to lock onto the enemy mini P.E.K.K.A. and instead locked onto like a giant that really wasn't going to get to the tower anyways. But
Nice.
Marcel's
Down the
giant
lane.
down.
Here comes a bowler down the lane.
And the bowler's great because in a lot of ways it has like penetrate damage. It pushes through the giant and hits stuff behind it. So things like guards or mini P.E.K.K.A.s hiding behind giants usually get.
We're going to start to see double bowler, triple princess.
You're right. The princess is not that far away.
It's going to happen.
I'd like to see a miner played in the middle.
Ow,
here to help
aggressive.
distract.
Aggressive bowler placement.
Great though. I mean, look at it. It's pulling the mini P.E.K.K.A. over and knocking it away at the same time.
Nice.
Wow, and you know what? That one push with Backstab early in the game was enough to lock it up.
Yeah.
And after that, even though Marcel was making good progress on the left lane, it wasn't enough to take the tower before the time ran out. So game 1 of the top 8 goes to Backstab. Now, this is something we don't talk a lot about in our elimination rounds, the earlier rounds, because we don't watch the whole games, but players have to register 2 different decks that are at least 4 cards apart. And you have to win with both decks in order to win your best of 3 round. So Backstab is not able to play the same deck that he just played. He played
Can't play the bowler anymore.
Right, can't play the bowler deck. So let's see what his
Hen 2.
second deck, Hog Rocket. We've seen a lot of Hog Rocket this week. I wonder what exactly has made people take this combination of cards and bring it. It's got to be the Elixir Collector, right, for the Rocket.
So if I remember correctly, Backstab is part of Hammer's Esport, right?
Yeah, I believe
I think so.
Yeah.
I
Could be
wonder
wrong,
if
though.
something is circulating around kind of like the top end of play that people are like, Hog Rocket is the new thing.
I can see that. So let's see. Well, we've switched from Bowler as a main win condition here over to the Hoggy Rider. So let's see. What does Marcel have to stop the Hog Rider? Well, he's actually got a lot of stuff. He's got Ice Spirit, Mini P.E.K.K.A., Guards, Zap, Musketeer. Like, all these cards are pretty good against Hog Rider. They're not a cannon, for example, but I don't foresee Backstab's Hog Riders being super successful. I think it'll matter how many times Marcel tries to run an Elixir Collector into a rocket. That could be pretty bad. Let's get into it. This is game 2. So if Backstab wins, Backstab advances into the next round. If Marcel wins, then we go to a game 3.
Apparently, I'm looking in chat. Chicken Bob says Hog Rocket is from the East.
Oh, it's from the Brenchong tournament. So those Brenchong tournaments that have a lot of top name players in there, supposedly Korean, Chinese, Asian players have been bringing this Hog Rocket archetype into the metagame. That's awesome. Yeah, we don't. Obviously, there's a whole. It's weird to think about it, but we see YouTubers, Twitch streamers, and all that. Well, there's a whole economy of these people over in the East as well that we just don't watch because, well, I don't speak Korean, you know what I mean? So it's interesting to see what decks evolve in those metagames and how they're often, pretty effective over here as well.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look. Trying to defend against the Giant Guard's push, man. It looks like it's going to be successful, and again, that princess is just having the time of her life.
God, the free-range princesses, no joke. Rocket kills Mini P.E.K.K.A. and everything behind Giant. Oh, that's a very interesting point. So that's what the key is. The key is that people are playing these Giant push decks, and they're stuffing so much stuff behind the Giant. The Mini P.E.K.K.A. and all the other stuff, the Musketeer and all that if you can hit a Mini P.E.K.K.A. and a Musketeer and a Giant, that's, infinite value. And even just the Giant and Mini P.E.K.K.A. is probably worthwhile.
Yeah. I mean, Rocket, kind of like Lightning, is one of those kind of opportunistic cards. You really need to analyze the Elixir situation and figure out what is going to be worth it for that investment, because it does do a lot of damage.
I don't think that Ice Spirit's going to be enough to prevent.
Oh, zap on the tower.
And it retargets the Giant. Oh, it's one swing. Oh, only one swing though, so
Man.
that could have gone very bad for Marcel.
Yeah.
But excellent for Backstab. We said the Hog Rider may not be the effective one, but the Mini P.E.K.K.A. able to get in even 1 or 2 swings throughout the course of a game can be the difference between a win and a loss.
Backstab, 2 big pushes on the right side, got the Hog Rider through, did about 3 swings, and then the Mini P.E.K.K.A. getting 1 plus the guards. Yep.
Now, interesting to use Rocket against Elixir Collector. It's weird to think about it, but Rocket is a bad Elixir trade in one way if you look at it as it's 6 cost to kill a 5 cost building.
Yeah.
But if you think of an Elixir Collector as well, it actually is 7 Elixir over the course of it. Then rocketing it is a +1 Elixir trade.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've heard arguments for both sides.
Yeah. I mean, I think the trade-off really is the now as opposed to later, right? When you rocket, you put the now in your disadvantage, but later you'll be happy that you did it.
And I think most importantly is it prevents Marcel from building up the 2 Elixir Collectors, which are the real problem, right?
No. Oh god, that giant does so much damage, and look, he's already caught up in the damage.
Every punch of a giant is a fireball, so that is an incredible amount of damage to do. The princess was very lucky to have survived that poison. I like the giant there to help tank for it. Unfortunately, that giant is probably going to get killed pretty quickly.
Yeah. Interesting exchanges going on right now. Unguarded Mini P.E.K.K.A.
One
He's just gonna
swing.
let it run.
2 swings for Marcel.
And that
Does he
could
get
actually
3
one shot the
swings?
tower.
Oh, the princess blocks the shot. Oh my god, and this, oh wow, both towers are really low. The rocket comes in for Backstab.
Of course there was a rocket.
Incredible defense by Backstab, taking every ounce of blood out of that rock. Those buildings were anything from dying, right?
If you talk about your health on your crown towers as a resource, Backstab just spent it all.
Yeah, gained every. It's almost like an ATM machine of elixir.
Yeah.
Like I could defend and spend elixir, or I can just let my tower take damage and I'll save the elixir instead. Backstab withdrew every dollar from his bank account in order to win that game. Wins 2-0 over first-time top 8er Marcel P. Congratulations, Marcel, on your first-time top 8, and of course, congratulations to the advancing, winning Backstabx.
Ah, Marcel P. So unfortunate. He was really elated that he made the top 8, but I think it's great for him. Consistently improving your performance is super important and difficult to do in the bracket format. Marcel P. did a good job making it this far, but Backstab is a name to watch.
Another lightning deck. So C. McHugh, and I'll start